Imagine this. You've saved up for months, packed your bags, and you're ready to explore the world. But wait, there's a catch. What if there are places where you're not welcome? What if some countries just won't let you in, and you don't know why? Well, today we're diving deep into the top 10 countries where, in 2024 and 2025, Filipinos aren't exactly getting the warmest welcome. Sounds intense, right? Stick with me, because you're going to want to hear the full story, because this could change the way you think about travel forever. Before we start, I want to request we put our best efforts to create every single video, so do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Country 10, North Korea. Coming in at number 10 is a country you've heard of, but might have not considered as a travel destination, North Korea. The fact that it made the list isn't shocking, considering its strict travel restrictions. North Korea doesn't really open its doors to just anyone, especially not to Filipinos. The regime has a long history of limiting access to foreign nationals, and that includes citizens from the Philippines. But there's a dark twist here. What makes this even more complex? It's not just the government. There's something deeper going on with the international community, and that affects every Filipino traveler. Stick around for that. Now, let's play a quick game. Raise your hand if you've ever tried to get a visa to North Korea. Oh, you haven't? Well, you're not alone, and probably better off for it. Country 9, Bhutan. Next up is Bhutan, a country that does allow tourists but has one major caveat. It has an extremely restrictive visa policy, especially for Filipinos. Bhutan's government enforces a high-value, low-impact tourism model, meaning that only those willing to pay a hefty daily fee get to enter. But here's the kicker. Bhutan is about to roll out even stricter rules in 2024. And what does that mean for Filipinos hoping to visit? Stay tuned. Country 8, Saudi Arabia. Number 8 takes us to Saudi Arabia. For years, this country has had restrictions on certain nationalities, and unfortunately, Filipinos have faced some challenges with entry. Due to the complex geopolitical dynamics and economic concerns, getting a visa for Saudi Arabia as a Filipino has become more complicated. Could the dream of a pilgrimage to Mecca for some Filipinos become just that, a dream? Let's see how the rules are changing in 2024. Now, before we jump into the next country, let me ask you this. How many of you thought Saudi Arabia was mostly known for oil, but not for travel restrictions? Bet you didn't see that coming. Country 7, Kuwait. Kuwait takes the number 7 spot. This tiny, oil-rich country has long had a strained relationship with foreign nationals, especially domestic workers from the Philippines. In recent years, Kuwait's visa policies have been adjusted in response to political tensions, and Filipinos face tougher hurdles when attempting to enter. But there's more to the story here. Kuwait isn't the only country with these types of issues. Keep watching, because we're about to dive deeper into a regional trend affecting many Filipinos. Country 6, Japan. At number 6 is Japan. Now, you might be surprised. Japan is a country Filipinos often visit for tourism. However, Japan has been tightening entry requirements, especially for work visas in certain sectors like healthcare and labor. With the introduction of stricter visa regulations, more and more Filipinos find themselves in a position where they're not able to enter. Why is Japan making these changes? Well, that's a story that may surprise you. Let's break it down. Ever wondered if your karaoke skills would get you into Japan? Well, guess what? It might not be enough to convince them anymore. Country 5, Malaysia. Malaysia has been on the radar for many Filipinos as a go-to destination for travel and work. But recent tensions over labor migration policies have led to tighter restrictions on Filipino workers, especially in the domestic sector. Malaysians are becoming more selective in who they allow into their country, and this is impacting thousands of Filipinos each year. Could this signal a bigger trend in Southeast Asia? Let's see what's coming next. Country 4, United States. Certain states. Now, let's talk about the United States. While it's still one of the most common destinations for Filipinos, did you know that there are specific states and regions within the U.S. that have created barriers to Filipino immigration? From increased scrutiny in work visa approvals to changes in asylum policies, some Filipinos may soon find it even harder to enter the U.S. in the coming years. But just wait, because the next few countries countries on our list will leave you questioning everything you know about global travel. Country 3, Australia. At number 3, we have Australia. Known for its beautiful beaches, unique wildlife, and multicultural cities, Australia is often a dream destination for Filipinos. But here's the catch. Australia has been tightening its immigration policies in recent years, and Filipinos are feeling the effects. Many workers, especially those on temporary visas, are being rejected or facing lengthy processing times. In fact, the government has imposed additional restrictions for Filipinos looking to work in skilled sectors. And even for students, the rules are becoming more challenging. But here's the twist. Australia isn't just concerned about work visas. There's a new wave of restrictions set to take place in 2024. And trust me, it's going to affect a lot of travelers, especially those planning to visit for leisure. Now, raise your hand if you thought Australia was just about kangaroos and surfing. Well, it turns out there's a lot more going on under the surface. Let's take a deeper dive. Country 2, Qatar. Qatar takes the number 2 spot. As one of the richest countries in the world, Qatar has relied heavily on migrant workers for its booming economy. However, in recent years, Qatar has faced international scrutiny for its treatment of migrant workers, particularly from the Philippines. Due to rising tensions, the Qatari government has restricted the entry of Filipinos in various sectors, and some travelers have reported facing unexpected denials at the airport. What's even more alarming is that Qatar is planning a shift in its labor laws in 2024 that could affect Filipino nationals even more. And no, it's not just about the economy. There's a much bigger political story here that could change everything for Filipino workers. Hold on to your passports because we're not quite at the top of the list yet. Don't start packing just yet because the final country is one that could shock you. Country 1, United Arab Emirates, UAE. And finally, at number 1, we have the United Arab Emirates, specifically Dubai. Dubai is known for its towering skyscrapers, luxury, and golden opportunities. However, the UAE has had a complicated relationship with Filipino workers for years. In 2024, this tension is only escalating, with stricter visa controls, increasing barriers to entry, and concerns about employment rights for Filipino workers. The UAE has become one of the most restrictive places for Filipinos seeking work and even leisure travel. What's happening in the UAE is part of a larger regional shift. You won't believe how this could change the way the entire Middle East interacts with Filipino nationals. The next few years could bring even more surprises. So, what does this mean for Filipinos looking to travel in the near future? Is the world becoming more closed off? Or are these restrictions just temporary blips in an otherwise open world? One thing is for sure, the future of global travel is changing, and Filipinos may need to adapt quickly. As we've seen today, these 10 countries are setting the stage for a major shift in the way they interact with Filipino travelers. Some countries are tightening their borders due to security concerns, others because of economic strategies, and some because of political shifts. But one thing is clear, the world is changing.